there, beloved family of light, wonderful Ascension pioneers. Today I'm doing another questions and answers section video, and I have received so many questions, and as I always am guided to, I like to provide answers in a video form so that many can benefit from them, not just the one who is asking me the question. Sometimes the questions tend to be a bit more personal, and for those of you who do that, who have personal questions, please feel free to reach out, but know that I provide more personal guidance via sessions and one-question readings through writing, and this is the way I do it. But the other way, I'm guided to share with all of you. For all those who are new, maybe, who don't know, I like to repeat that, so that is obvious. I don't guide personally without the energy exchange, which is, I think, a lot of us need to become aware of that. It's just how it is. All energy needs to flow. So I've received many quite interesting questions this week, a lot of them, and they were about everything, from birth, which I've never been asked before about, again about twin flames as usual, about sort of enlightenment in a way. It was just received yesterday. I think it's a very interesting question, and about blocking your gifts and abilities. So I'll start at the beginning, which is somewhere to start with. And first question I would like to answer is this one. It was written to me by this woman who is carrying a child, and she wanted to know what my thoughts were in birth. And because I didn't know what specifically she meant, I asked her a question to be more specific, and these are the questions that came through. I was wanting to know your thoughts or knowledge on natural childbirth. Childbirth. Well, I have a feeling that everyone who is carrying a child, birth of a child is something sacred. So as much as you perceive this experience as sacred, the more sacred you want it to be. So natural childbirth, of course, I think is the most profound experience a woman can have. I'm not a mother myself, but I think that whatever kind of means they use to kind of numb down your senses, as they kind of stop your feeling of the connection that you have. Because how a soul enters this world of duality, still some sorts of the material realm, it's a very difficult experience for them. And as much as you are aware and present at that state, you can help them a lot on the energetic level. So I think the natural childbirth is something very great. And a lot of the society's ways lately, and how it was driven towards all the certain painkillers and what all that we have, I don't know, but there are certain methods that they block the senses of a woman, literally, they make you numb. And I don't think this is very good for your body and for the benefit of the child. The question was, what do you think of hospitals and home births? I don't know, I don't have any thoughts on that. But as much as you're guided to do it on your own way, I always guide people to go within and see what is there for them. I don't think all births that happen in hospitals are bad. I just have a feeling that you need to do what you're drawn to, okay? So if you're drawn to have a baby at home, this is what your guidance of the soul is calling you towards. And I don't think there's so many methods now, women who give birth in water and orgasmic labors and so many things, but certain things are just very natural, and they bring more sacredness into your life, and they help you to connect with the soul of the baby that is coming through you even more on a deepest level, because birth is a one-time experience that soul experiences at the moment that is being presented to this material realm. What is your undertaking on using drugs to induce and block pain, and how do you think this affects the birth process? Like I said, I don't think this is a good thing, but not just during birth, child labor. I think all drugs are bad. I think everything is there to numb the senses. If you want to understand more on this topic, I would really recommend the book Starseed Awakening from Patricia Corey, which is a book that covers all the areas from medicine to implants to everything that we've been kind of walking towards in the society of manipulation. And there's so many tools that we have to set ourselves free from, and drugs and painkillers and depression pills. There are just some of the things that will dumb down the senses the most, and you will not be you won't have an easy soul connection, I mean, to your own soul. They will kind of make you sleepy, you know, like when you're in a sleepy state, you're not really aware. So they kind of really don't help you with the awareness, with your awareness. They kind of decrease your ability to be aware and present. And childbirth is something you should be present at, you know. Do you think our birth greatly affects our subconscious? I don't think it's something that affects our subconscious, because our subconscious is already the greater part of us, you know, but it does affect our conscious. I mean, of course, there are some things that do go in our subconscious, but mostly, you know, if we have fears, if we fear the labor, if we fear the experience, of course, we can cause some blockages on our own, because every fear will create a blockage. And every love thought is a thought of non-duality, of no limitation. You know, love does not limit. Love does not put boundaries. Love is ever expanding. And whenever there's fear, you will create self-sabotaging limits to the experience, all on your own. Okay, if that is needed for you on your soul growth level. But basically, there is no such a thing as this need to really do that. Do you think babies are conscious beings? Of course, everything is conscious in this universe. You know, the whole creation is conscious. Everything is pure consciousness. All that is God force. You know, do you think spirits choose their parents as they plan to reincarnate? Of course they do. Every single, not just birth and parents on location, is according to what kind of energies will support your purpose here on earth, but also which parents will support you the most in this. You know, when you see many pathways as a soul as you make this conscious decision, and you will choose the one that is for your highest evolution growth. So that is why I say it's very important for you as a conscious child, as a conscious parent for the child, is to be really responsible and aware about the procedure, because you're the one who gets to bring this baby to this world. So there is a responsibility that you have undertaken on a soul level as well. It's not just the baby, you have chosen each other. It's not just the baby that has chosen you, you know, it's one and the same, and you've also chosen it. Either the new children are bringing a lot of the teaching forth for the parents, they're bringing new energies, you know, the family. I've seen this, you know, my mother is now babysitting this baby, and the whole family is changing, you know, due to these energies. They're becoming more vegetarian in their diet and things like that. Just the energy of the baby has a huge impact on the whole family, and I think this is really wonderful what is happening now. I was just interested to hear what you are moved to say about these questions, and I was curious to know if birth had come to your attention before. Yeah, of course, but mostly, you know, when I talk about birth is when I talk about the sacredness of creation, because, you know, as above, so below. So the birth is always you with your partner creating the third force, and you create another creation. So that is how the universe is expanding. It's always the two within one, you know, uniting the balance with the masculine and feminine, the two feminine and the masculine, and the energies that are needed for the merging, and then the third creation can occur. And this is how it's unraveling at the higher levels as well, because all creation is expanding this way. You know, it's always the two creating the third, and something new grows, and then again, you know, it's like the flower of life. It's how it's made, you know. And if you haven't seen that photo yet, do check out how when you conceive a baby, how the cells are actually restructuring themselves, how they grow and expand. They basically form a flower of life. I think you can find the photo if you Google it, but there's this beautiful photo. It shows the cells and how they basically create the flower of light, and how the first is the heart. So the first thing that the soul develops in the body is the heart, and then everything expands from that heart. So you can see that the heart represents not just the heart on the physical level, which is the connector of spirit and matter. The heart represents the whole hologram of the universe, which is love derives all. Love, you know, governs all life and all creation. It's the driving force of all. The way birth is being viewed is changing quickly, but there are still so many who are unaware of the reality of how far we still have to go. I think that is true, but I think it's up to each and every individual to live their truth. You can't really force these higher truths about how important the birth of a child actually is, and not just birth, but, you know, the first few months, and how you take care of the baby, how you help to show them the new world, because some of the souls weren't here on earth yet, and it's up to the parents to show them this realm, to present it in the best way and most loving and compassionate way, to really reintroduce them to this planet in a way, or to how they feed them. Because when a child is small, you know, it doesn't have its own will because the parents will mostly force their own will upon them. So it's kind of hard for them until they're old enough to start, you know, having their own will expressed. So I think this is very, very good to know. And I think it's very good and very important to stay conscious during your birth. It's not just my opinion, it's how all energy works, and all energy works through awareness. And we expand through awareness. So the more that you are aware during that procedure, it's not really a procedure, it's a sacred experience. I think the better it will be, and the better it will serve all of you as a family. So the next question was, I feel these new energies very much, but me being not earthed, grounded enough, feel it more like restless legs disorder, a tingling, itching sensation in the legs and feet. My ascension started in the summer of 2010 when I was stung by a wasp. Apparently I'm deadly allergic to them and died. Then I sort of stepped into nirvana and had total access to the source. My antennas could tune into anything, and I got info and understanding of things I'd never even read or even heard about. I was one with the universe, so to speak. I was in that state 2 months. Then I got thrown out of it because of fear. I've since gone into it, but not with the same extreme physical intensity from time to time, but I can keep myself in that uplifted state of being. I now feel that it's of absolute importance that I can get there again fast. Do you think I can retain my enlightened state once being thrown out because of fear? I didn't confront my hindrance, more like I surrender to my limitations. I can tell from reading your stuff and watching the video clips that you are in that place that I was or still am in a muted way. On another subject, my concern is not being there all the time makes me want to kill myself some days. I want to be in paradise always. What do you think about going in and out of enlightenment? Can I go into that oneness again for always? Thank you for your wise words and channelings. Oh, these are not channelings. These are my I am presence guidance. This is not channeling, it's sourcing. I am la la la, but I'm also very fragile and get depressed easily. Okay. Well, I think this is a very important thing to talk about, because these experiences that are near-death experiences are experiences when one feels this complete oneness. They're not the same as being enlightened, okay? I know it sounds kind of harsh, but they're not. They are usually being experienced by people, but you know, who choose on a soul level to have that experience, to then more consciously decide to start walking towards that true enlightenment, meaning true recognition and remembrance of your soul and of who you are on a level of your being. Because usually people who are totally unaware will then have these experiences either to experience them on their own for a certain reason, to expand in their awareness, or to assist other people. You know, a lot of the people who have had near-death experiences have then later helped other people, you know, about this and help them understand the nature of these experiences, and you know, to be a teacher of that, to be a model of that. But each soul, you have to understand, on a soul level, it chooses an experience for their own particular reason, which is not always the same. And you have to know that just being able to experience that oneness does not yet mean you're enlightened. Like the person said, that they have a feeling that I live in that state. I do live in that state, but I have walked through the state through my initiations, through the challenges in my life, which have placed me in a place of further alignment with my soul. Because enlightenment is not that you are able to feel that oneness, because, you know, every time we go to sleep, we go to different realms, and we can all tune that towards that to meditation. But what I talk about ascension is basically being that. So if you're still getting depressed, if you're still feeling sad and very sensitive to everything and not grounded enough, then you're not there. You still have work to do. You still have a lot of initiations to go through, because challenges mean that not everything is fully aligned with your soul yet, which is fine. And the person, when they said, I have a feeling I need to get there fast, you know, this is not the guidance of the soul. This is the guidance of the ego, because the soul is a compassionate, loving part of you that will never rush you towards anything, that would never enforce enlightenment towards you, upon you, because you're walking each step as you're meant to walk it and embrace every step. The more that you want to be somewhere that you're not, the more you escape the now reality moment and the now moment. You want to, that's more like escapism, and that is what the depression that the person references is all about. The depression is trying to escape this now moment and really denying the experience of the now and denying yourself. So this is not enlightenment for all those of you who think it is. And a lot of the information that I heard when I was awakening myself from a lot of people who were talking about these experiences, you know, a lot of people who think they go to source when they kind of die, they don't go to source, they go to the astral. And in the astral, you have a lot of different states of the astral planes, and not all of them are equally in a state of light, because a lot of the astral plane is also influenced by the other energies that are not always that of the truth. So what I recommend is intending to connect only with the highest light of the truth within one, which is where my guidance comes from, which is the eternal space of now, which is the I am presence of each and every one of us as to how we were truly created in essence, as our source essence. So the astral guidance, which a lot of the psychics do receive and a lot of the people who have near-death experiences go to, is not the same as an enlightened state of your I am presence, because your I am presence is your only enlightened state, okay? So when you will truly have the I am experience, you will not be depressed, you will not be feeling bad or low or ungrounded, you will just be. You'll be acceptive of every experience that you have, of every now moment. You will fully wish to reside in the now. You will be fully grounded in the earth. Like I say, walking as a master, but here on earth, grounding your I am presence. This has nothing to do with the astral experiences. So when I was watching these videos, I think from this woman who was speaking about that, she said that her guides, which came from Syrian constellation, they told her that a lot of these are basically attacks on people, that they they're being drawn, they're being taken to this level where they're being shown this fake light. And I don't know, I haven't really thought about this myself, because I only focus on the light and of the truth. But there's many things out there unfolding in the universes. So one needs to be very careful when it comes to such experiences, very discerning. And this is basically always for your greater good, because the soul will get so much expansion and gain so much more knowledge and wisdom and higher understanding through these experiences. But no, you cannot escape yourself. You have work to do. You cannot just become enlightened like this and reach a certain state, because your life is your teacher, and all of your sacred experiences and challenges are there to really help to put you on the path of being fully aligned, directly aligned with your soul and ultimately your I am presence. So I hope this answers the question. And yes, of course, naturally I live in a state like that. I am connected to my own presence, but I am not fully grounded yet in this realm. I never said I am a full and complete master. But I know your life will show you how you live, what are the feelings that you live with, how you basically feel everything around you as one with all life, not when you go to source, but can you feel that oneness also here in the physical body? That is the oneness that the true master experiences, okay? So I hope this answers this question. The next question was, I'm really inspired by your ability to let go and just move forward. A lot of the times I'm able to do this. For some reason right now I continue to feel emotional. My ex lives across the street. Every single time I walk out of my bedroom into the living room, I see him in his car. I feel this emotional tug in my second chakra. What would you do to clear yourself of this connection and feeling if you were experiencing it? I have had a powerful life-changing clearing, yet I don't know how to let go of the idea of us. Thanks for sharing your heart. Yeah, this is a very, very, very important question, because there needs to be a complete understanding of this. While there is still a lesson to be learned, while there's still a lesson on a soul level that the soul wants to experience, there will always be attraction. There will always be this magnetic pull and the, expectations and the dreaming about us. Like I said, when there is this state of being, that means there's still lessons to be learned within that. There's still something needed to be done. And you have to understand we cannot compare each other. For instance, my experiences or your experiences within relationships, they will always be on our own soul level and growth, because we each experience initiations and growth processes that are aligned with our own level of spirituality. So when we try to compare ourselves with others, it's not really good, because it's not serving anyone, because we need to be here where we are. This is our path and we have chosen it. So the reason for me why I can shift so fast is because I always do inner work. I always remember the soul contract, the soul agreement that I made with a particular individual or a certain experience. And when there's higher understanding, the chemistry, the attraction, the attachment fades. It really literally vanishes like this, because once the lesson is learned, there's no more pull towards that, because it no longer serves you, and your soul knows that, and you just wish to strive forward. So I have to say, truly, it's very important to understand that just clearing your chakras and doing clearing work and cutting the cords is not enough, because you need to expand in your awareness. Your awareness needs to be aware of these things. If it's not in your heart knowing, if it's not really understood on the deepest core levels of the soul why this was here in the first place in your life, how you have attracted it and why you have chosen it on a soul level, and then really go into it and then really find peace within that and feel compassion and forgiveness for yourself, the other, and for the entire experience, you know, with the Ho'oponopono mantra. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you for the experience, and I'm now moving forward. That is what we should be focused upon, not just the clearing work and cutting cords. You know, it's a part of this work, but the cords, you know, the spiritual cords, you can never really cut, because we're all one and we're all linked with many cords, you know, the spiritual connections that we have made and are still making, you know, as the creation expands and as we flow through experiencing in every single realm and dimension and within the universes. But the thing is, you can cut certain cords that are of the limited nature, but if you will still need the lesson within a certain experience, you will still be pulled towards that lesson. So be easy with yourself, be gentle with yourself, you know, don't try to compare yourself with others and say, oh, you know, they've moved on, and why can't I move on in my own relationship? Well, maybe it's not time for you to yet move, but it will be when you're ready to see the experience and what it has served you for. And that's the only way to shift, and the only way to heal is through awareness. And not just to become aware of it, like I say, to know it, you have to then also feel it. Feel like you have completely forgiven. Feel like you have complete compassion towards the situation and the outcome and the entire dynamics between a certain relationship. So that's what it's about, and that's how you know you have moved on, when you fully understand the experience and you can feel nothing but gratitude for that person, for the experience, and for the greater good of all that this brings. Okay, so know that it's not the same to heal through awareness and to become whole through awareness, or to do clearing work. This is not the same thing. Okay, the next question was, I felt such a huge need or feeling to find my twin. It's about twin flames. It was kind of overwhelming until one woman who I trust much told me that my twin is helping me from higher, but it's not in this life with me. It made me so sad, and I kind of dropped this yearning, like it's not possible. But on the other hand, I have heard that it's possible to still live this divine love and soulmate relationship. This gives me hope, because I feel that for some reason I have been so long time alone and waiting for this person. So I just wanted to ask, is this possible to live twin flame energies also in soulmate relationships, if the inner works is being done by both a man and a woman? Thank you so much once more. It's strange to watch these videos and be inspired. Thank you. So how can I be sure also that this woman really knows if my twin flame is in this incarnation? If I had this yearning, was it from the heart or ego? I know from the heart. Well, you will each know when a yearning is there from the heart or the ego, because you will feel it. If it's from the heart, you will be okay with your life as it is. You will be at peace with yourself. If it's from the ego, you will feel a longing that is more a desire not to be alone, to be fulfilled, to have something that will fulfill you. When it's from the heart, you are already whole and fulfilled. And it's just that knowing from your soul that you will be reunited with your beloved partner that you have chosen on a soul level. When you have chosen this, all of us have a certain amount of remembrance. I had it also as a very little child, this feeling that there's someone just like me here. But then I lost it, you know, during these moments of trying to get into the system through high school and college and everything. And then when I started my awakening, it was there again. So the knowing of the heart is very easily recognized. It's just something that you already know and you felt, and this is the truth no one can take away from you. But the ego desire is more to have certain things fulfilled, and you want it in the now. You can't do it in a way that, you know, if someone would tell you, oh, you have to wait 3 more years, you'd be all devastated about it. You know, the heart connection through the soul is more like, I know, even if it's, I don't know, never, I'm still fully aware and present where I am right now with me, because it's the path that I've chosen. It's the mission that I live. It's my own life, my own journey, and be completely fulfilled with it. What you do, for me, when I'm focused on service, because that's why I'm here, I'm complete because I'm doing my purpose. And when you're aligned with your purpose, that means you're aligned with your soul and you're happy and full and complete. So you live in that neutral state of being and you just exist and live your life as it comes. So I would also like to say, address this, that trusting someone else's guidance, what they say about you, over your own is never good, because you give that person your power and you give that belief your power. So a lot of the people are experiencing these challenges when other people are telling them things about them, is for them to realize, to go deeper within and to start trusting themselves more. And of course, naturally, you know, twin flame love is not like that person wrote, twin flame energy. It's not an energy. It's the essence of who we are. It's the truth of who we are, how source always divides in order to have the creation within duality and polarity. It is polarized. So as above, so below. Also, you know, here we are, these essences of male and female, because everything in creation will always reflect the first cause, you know, the source of all that is, the polarization, the opposites that exist within one, you know, the two within one. The masculine, the feminine, you know, source is polarized, but it's one energy. So it's not a twin flame energy, it's the twin flame truth, I would say, as to who you are and how we were created as source essences, as perfect bubbles of divine love. I have an article about divine love on my webpage, amongst articles, for all those of you who truly want to know what this is. It's a beautiful and profound writing. Do check that writing out. And I would also like to say that of course you can experience this level, and it's a level of awareness, but you have to shift in your own twin flame heart awareness. That means remembering your true essence, your true I am presence, how you were created, and then everything in your external reality can mirror that to you. Of course, there will be people maybe who you'll be guided to assist along your path, to help uplift them, and they will not always be in complete resonance with you, but that happens with a lot of us light workers anyway, right? The thing is, it's really important not to focus on, I want my twin flame, because then maybe in this life, what you really are meant to, what you have chosen on a soul level, and it's your destined path, is a soulmate. And if you'll constantly be thinking about that twin flame, you'll just block that energy space with that soulmate trying to reach you. And of course, you can live that beautiful awareness also with your soul flame. So what we are to be focused upon is our ideal partner who shares our same vibration, our same energy, who is like an opposite to us, but are energetic equal. So we're supposed to strive for the perfect match, you know, the one who's like us in all ways, on all levels of being, and who will help to serve on this planet together with us, because that is what this relationship, that is a divine union, is basically about. It is nothing less than that, than being of service with another. It's not this utopia of romantic love that will only be focused on that, and you will forget about the entire world when you will melt into the arms of your beloved. Of course, there might be moments of this, but you've chosen to come here with a certain task and purpose as well, and you're living this together. And like I say, don't focus too much on limitations. Don't try to define what you want in your life. Just be willing, be open from your heart to receive what is for your highest good. And maybe for your highest good, that's your soulmate or your soul partner. It doesn't matter. These are all definitions that we use. What we should crave for is our perfect resonant match, because that's the person we can co-create the best with anyway, okay? Okay, so I hope this answers this question. I think the other questions that I received were quite long. I hope I can try to put it in this video. The person was telling me about the experience and what this certain woman, again, another woman, told her about her, how she blocked this ability that she had. She said, she told me that in one of the past lives, I blocked my power myself to save myself from persecution. In a word, it has to do with witchcraft and dark ages, and those are both topics I resonated with deeply since my teenage years. So, you know, whatever you resonate with means you're drawn to it for a reason. This went so far as to affect my health in this life severely, and still acts as a wall between me and my true self. The gap between intuitive knowledge of who I am and the place where I am right now is torturing me, but I still haven't come up with an effective way to release myself from my own block. She said it was important to tell myself it was not dangerous anymore and forgive myself for this self-hurt in order to release my true self, but easier said than done. Would you have a recommendation on how this can be done? Perhaps a form of meditation or a visualization that you have yourself relied on at some point? I would really appreciate your help, since I don't have a teacher at this moment, and having lived something for 29 years makes you doubt subconsciously that you can ever break free of it. And as you know, when subconsciousness resists something, it is a tough barrier to overcome. First of all, you have to become your own teacher. Don't rely upon others to become your teachers. We can only serve as guides and inspirations and share our own truth as to how we walk through these challenges ourselves. Also, it is very important to understand what the woman wrote about subconscious is when you are aware enough, your conscious and subconscious become one. And you're walking towards the superconscious, which is the consciousness of your being, which is, like I say, the whole, the totality, the I am presence, all the wisdom, knowledge, all the power of your I am presence, of the monad, of the monadic expression of who you are and the source essence. So the less you are aware, the more these two, you perceive them as separate, conscious and subconscious. The more we are doing that work towards ascension, we are merging the two. Like we are also merging the inner child, the wounded, the little ego self with our higher self. We were merging all these aspects. So I think this is a very important part to consider here as well, that we have to work through awareness, through making this one. And in that oneness, there is no blockages, there are no hurts and wounds, so this has to do with our holding. The thing is, all these blockages that some people talk about, these past life issues and how they created blockages for themselves, have to deal with self-sabotaging patterns. You know, sometimes individuals, they have chosen to do certain things, and on a soul level, that's why they need to neutralize, because the soul will always tend to go upwards on the spiral of evolution towards the source essence. So the soul will always need to neutralize that experience. So if someone has been experiencing that and really dealing with past life and really was interested in that. For me, I was never interested at all in past lives and regression and hypnotherapy. I even felt that no one can basically hypnotize me. And because my awareness is so expanded. So the thing is, I was not dealing with that because I know it's not on my path, and I don't really feel these past life things, but I'm not saying it's a reality. It's not a reality. A lot of souls have incarnated here for eons and have had many trials and tribulations and many experiences, and I don't feel that for myself. But I really feel that a lot of the people who might have created these blockages really have to do the forgiveness and compassion work on themselves, to find that inner safety again, to find that beautiful safety, to start trusting themselves and building upon their self-conscious, how do you call it? To become more expressive in a way, not to fear, you know, to just really be self-confident in the wholeness that you are. I offered this person to do a light activation when release these self-sabotaging blockages, because remember, you can only create these limitations for yourself. All the obstacles we have placed, it was us who have placed them. There's no one else. There is no darker, there is no lighter. There is, you know, a lot of people say, oh, I've been told that I've been attacked by the dark ones, or, you know, oh, I have this darkness within me. It's not a separate entity, you know, people. It's something that is just not yet illuminated with the light of the truth. It's just something that hasn't been yet fully transparent to the light that is all that is. It's not something to be fearful of. So many people are being afraid even of the word shadow. Shadow is not something dark and lurky. Shadow is something that has not yet been fully looked into. And when you look into it, you see that it's not even scary. It's not scary. It's something beautiful. It's just something that needs to come up to the surface to be revealed to the light, which basically shadow is just an aspect that has no energy on itself. So it needs to come to the light. Either there's a lot of the dark entities that will, you know, kind of entangle themselves to something that is of the light to gain energy, because the dark in itself is not an energy. It's not a conscious energy. It also exists only within the light, so it feeds itself by light. Either that's one option, or the other option is to become an enlightened light on its own. So there's a lot of the energies that are choosing to, you know, be attached to something that is of the light instead of seeking their own light of perfection. But, you know, every soul does that it wants to. It's a fully thing of the free will. So the person had another question. When I look at you, you remind me of my mom in a sense that you're 100% light being. It just emanates from you as a very strong vibration of light. In my case, I have a deep desire to serve and to guide people, and have been told that this is what I would do at some point. But I feel strongly that I'm not entirely light, that I combine light and dark, and in even proportion. I was also told that there was nothing wrong with this, as I'm here to teach the world about balance and to bridge the opposites in every sphere of life. I also feel that the dark force within me is not evil. Of course, it's not. Nothing is evil. The dark only becomes evil when misinterpreted, of course, because when you give it power in this way, misinterpreted by people and distorted by them. Exactly. Good answer, you know, good self-work. That primal dark energies are different from petty emotions of greed, hate, envy, and so on. However, I'm still afraid to trust myself because of centuries of Christian indoctrination of people and because of how deep the prejudice against all darkness is in our society. Please let me know what you think on this topic. I think many people still have that. I think many people still experience that. But I think when we're moving and shifting towards the new energies, it just simply is no more room for that. Everything is coming to the light now in stages and layers, peeling like onions. And basically what's coming now, all these fears, eventually people are going to start realizing that, hey, you know, why was that fear there in the first place? Because the energies are increasing so much that basically they will help to, if you're only willing and ready, they will help to resolve you all these fears, and you will see why you have chosen this situation or experience. Like that person said, you know, I chose this to help others to merge the balance of the light and dark, which is true. Everything we experience in a way to gain a perspective, to gain knowledge about this, and then to share it with others, because that's our path. So all of our experiences, due to, until the time of our awakening and even later, always, of course, continuously, they will always show us what we are here for, how we are serving. So if you're experiencing something like this, what's written in this letter is your own sacred observation of what you notice about yourself. But like I say, please don't always follow what others tell you about you. They might have some insights, but really trust only yourself over anyone else. This is the full empowerment I'm talking about, and only from this awareness comes. So it's really important to see why you have chosen this. And when you see why you've chosen certain things on a soul level, you will totally understand, and you'll totally have forgiveness and compassion for the experience, and for yourself, of course, wanting and desiring this experience. You will understand why. And you will then, when you will start serving others, you know, and stop placing these self-sabotaging beliefs that you can only serve them when you're this and this aware, you can always serve. But always you can serve on a level that you're open to yourself. So the more that you open up, the less you will see. The fear still needs to be there. It's something that is very primal, very old, very ancient, but that is now being purified on the planet. So as long as you're just having that intent to walk in the new, fearless, bold, conscious, totally aware, there's no need. And these fears are like disappearing like that for the people who just don't give them power anymore. So I think this is something that we should be all focused on, releasing these primal ancient fears, which many have. I never had that. I had more the fears that are on the higher level, which have to do with the experiment of the world, of this earth, with Atlantis, which is basically a 26,000 year cycle. And I have very primal creation fears, because from the level where I come from, you know, on every level fears are different. Like on every level, love is understood differently. So truth is different in different stages of awareness. But what you need to be focused upon is your own level, and discover these fears, because you are healing them at the same moment that you're discovering them, and you can only unblock them yourself. So a lot of the people who might seek certain helpers who will help them unleash these blockages, if you're not ready, no one can unleash these blockages. But when you realize that all the obstacles were there placed for you, by you, you will get it, and you will get it why, and you will get it why this was in your life, what this is to help you with, so you can better help others as well. Anyway, I have to go. This was a totally long video. I know I received so many questions. I hope I gave the answers as in detail that I could. It's kind of hard to go through all of that, very intense topics. I should really focus upon them more individually. Maybe I'll do writings next week. But I have to say now that this is my last video, I think, for the week. I was guided to have more inner work, to have more inner peace and stillness. So I'll have a few sessions, but that's all I will do for this week, because I'm preparing for a full moon cycle for the conclusion, and I need a lot of the self-time also to gain some new insights and discoveries that I'll maybe there. Of course, not maybe, of course, I'll share them with all of you. Anyway, pioneers, stay blessed, and you are love. Remember that each and every day. Talk to you soon. Bye.